Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is Lisa Ann. This is my first video, and we're going to do what I call a Sunday morning chaos. So I picked some decks, and I'm going to shuffle them up, and we're going to just pull cards from all the decks and then decipher what messages we have for this week. So we're going to do a reading for the week coming up. That would be January 14th. The week of January 14th, 2019. Some of these were already shuffled. So we'll give these a little shuffle. The Archangel Power Tarot. I read the Valentine. Let's see. What messages do we have for this week coming up? What do we need to know for this week coming up? A couple cards, please. Messages for this week coming up. That's too many. And this is the Tarot, Psychic Tarot of the Heart by John Holland. What messages do we need for this week, please? It's way too many. Those. Any more? The Romance Angels by Dorian Virtue. Messages for this week, please. January 14th, week of January 14th. What do we need to know? What messages do we have from the Romance Angels? We have the Oracle of Shadow and Light. Any messages for us this week? Messages for this week, January 14th. And the Moonology Oracle. Messages for this week coming up, please. Whispers of Healing by Angela Hartfield. Messages for this week. What else do we have? Lover's Oracle. Messages from Spirit for this week for us. Mystic Moon Oracle. From the Tarot de la Nuit. Messages for this week coming up. What do we need to know? What are the energies that we have to worry about this week? Okay. One more in here. One more. It's too many. Okay, we'll take that one. Okay. And the Rebel deck. Words of wisdom for the Rebel deck. Any messages for the week coming up? Alright, so here's our Sunday morning chaos. Let's see where we are. Okay, so first we start off with the Queen of Michael. Oh, you know exactly what to do. The benefit of experience, a time for your career rather than relationships. The Five of Raphael. Everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace the opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. And then Ace of Michael. A wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. Okay, so in the week coming up, I think there's going to be a greater focus on career, finances, work, getting things in order at work. New projects starting is the beginning of the year. Usually new things kind of get off the road, off the ground in the beginning. And you're going to be off to a good start because you do have experience and know what direction you're going. There are still some of us that have to release some old energies. There are opportunities being offered to you at this time. You just have to open your eyes and see them and kind of let go of old emotions and things that no longer serve you. Search for the silver lining. Kind of switch your perspective. Start looking at the positives and things instead of the negative things. Worry about what you have instead of what you don't have. And make those small positive changes in your outlook. And that will move you forward. The Ace of Michael, again, is about new beginnings, new ideas. Bumps in the road are fine. Just keep pushing forward. And communication is the key. So make sure that you are communicating. We have the Trust card and clarity of belief. So the trust is sort of you got to trust your journey. Let go and surrender to it. She's in bright light here, and she's sort of letting go. Her arms are open, and she's ready to trust whatever happens. Kind of free-falling, jumping, taking a leap of faith. And then we have clarity of belief, which is about transformation. As you see, the butterfly here is all about transformation and growth. So you're clear on what you believe in and standing in your truth and standing in how you feel is always the best. And then mastering that, mastering what you feel, mastering your techniques, working on yourself. And then we have healing begins. So trusting your journey, finding out what it is you believe in, what you stand for, healing anything that doesn't fit into that little cage, and then mastering who you are and what you believe in. So this is all about self-realization and getting yourself in order, building a foundation on your beliefs and your values and what you believe in, and then standing in it and trusting that. And this is all about all right, there is a soulmate connection, new beginnings, possibly things coming around, passion brewing with this relationship. It is a past life relationship, a soulmate relationship, so you have a soul contract here. There's no denying that, and as much as you try to pull apart from each other, you've already met the person, and this could be the one. So anybody starting new relationships, or finding that old relationships are starting to come around, this could be a soulmate or someone that you have a past life relationship with. And passion is brewing that, so allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Because that's, this is a relationship that is meant for you, and it's there. We have Fairy of the Highlands. It's time to be brave. Ghost of the past returns for a time. And Death and the Maiden, invasion, boundaries violated, and dominance. So what I get from here is that there are some other relationships. There are other. Death and the Maiden is kind of like setting your boundaries and standing strong in your boundaries, and not allowing other people to force you to do things you don't want to do. Kind of setting boundaries is healthy, obviously. And then sticking by those boundaries and not allowing someone to control you or to dominate you. So there has to be a balance in any relationship. Ghost of the past, you might find that people from your past that you might have let go of could be circling back around. And this is a test. It's a test to find out if you've learned the lesson that they brought forth to you. Are you going to fall back into old patterns, or are you going to remain strong and on your new path? So watch for any people from your past that you might have thought you released coming back. Most likely or not. If you release them for some reason, and I'm not talking about this connection, I'm talking about probably other connections, people that you have already let go in your life and moved past, they might come poking back in just to make sure that you've learned your lesson, and that you're not going to fall back into old patterns. So make sure you're wary of that. And then it's time to be brave. So anything that could be holding you back, it's time to shed the fear, and it's time to stand up and be strong and move past fear, because everything you ever wanted is on the other side of that. Fear isn't real. Fear is something that we create within ourselves and with our own brains and our egos, and that's what holds us back and limits us, because our egos do not want us to grow and don't want us to move forward. So we have to release that, and we have to move forward. So we have the full moon in Aquarius, show the world the real you. So it's time to be brave and stand in your boundaries and show the world who you've become, the changes that you've made over the past year. There's been a lot of growth, and a lot of things have come about. That have made changes in your life, and it's time to show the world who you really are. Standing in your power, and not bending too far for other people. Nothing yet is set in stone. So, and look at the bigger picture. So what I get from here is that things are still evolving in your life. There's certain seeds that were planted and intentions that were set that you're trying to manifest. So even though they're small changes, they might not be noticeable, but things are starting to fall into place in order to get you to where you really wanted to be. Sometimes we don't think we're moving forward because we're not getting to where we want to be fast enough. So sometimes it's good to take a step back and look at the big picture, kind of look in the rearview mirror, see how far you've come, and notice those little tiny baby steps, because even though it might be slow progress and baby steps, you're still moving forward. So that's a good way not to get discouraged because we don't think we're moving fast enough. We have boundaries. So setting good boundaries, and it's okay. If you notice, this woman is kind of off to the side from other people, doing her own thing in her own peace. So sometimes it's good when we set boundaries to take a step back from other people and really go within and really enjoy self-time to ourselves. Sometimes we worry too much about making other people happy that we forget that it's not our job to make other people happy. We have to be happy within ourselves. So it's okay to set healthy boundaries. If other people are encroaching on your space and they're bringing negativity to you, it's okay to release those toxic people, whether they're friends or family even. It's okay to take a step away from them if they bring negativity to you and they're just not helping you along your journey. And then we have the unexpected. So we've said it there's a lot of astrological things going on that are bringing magic into our lives right now. So expect the unexpected. There are gifts and beautiful beginnings and things coming to you from the divine at this time. So keep your eyes open and make sure to keep your heart open to receive any of those. Work on your self-worth. Know that you're worthy, that you're lovable, that you're available, and that you let the universe know that you're ready and willing to take whatever gifts that they give you, and then be grateful. Be thankful for what you're given. And then we have the transform card. So there's still a lot of healing and growth going on in the collective. People are awakening, and they're realizing that the way they are currently, the way they're living, isn't fulfilling them. And it's okay. It's okay to strive for more in your life. It's okay to grow and change. If you're feeling uncomfortable right now and you're feeling kind of that you're not, I don't want to say angry, but if you're feeling uncomfortable and you don't really like where you are in your life right now, and you feel an itch to change something, now is a good time to go for that change. Find out what it is you really want in your, in your life, how you want to live your life, people that you want in your life, relationships, how you want to be, how you want to feel, and make those things happen. You have you have control over your life. Nobody else does. So the transform card is all about making those changes in your life, changing the way you think, changing the way you do things, doing unexpected things. If you get an itch to go make a snowman, it's snowing, do it. Anything that's going to make you happy. There's nobody telling you that you can't do something. It's your life. You're in charge of that. And then we have ruminate, which I have to look up because I don't. 18. It's all about your thinking and manifestation. Take note of how you take on the energy around you. Do you tend to immerse yourself in unconstructive energy? Are you taking responsibility for a situation that really has nothing to do with you? Do you hold yourself responsible for things that you don't have control over? Negative thinking can manifest in harmful and self-talking or viewing yourself disapprovingly. You may do this without being aware of it. Apologizing constantly lowers your energy. Being ashamed of your presence in certain situations. Be honest as you reflect on where you may be taking on these negative type of energies. And be aware of your thoughts. So this is about finding your self-worth and being aware of how you portray yourself or how you think of yourself or things that you say to yourself. I am not worthy. I can't do something. I'm not good at that. So any kind of self-talk that you might think that limits your ability to grow and to do things and to be happy, be aware of those things and try to change the perspective or change the way you're thinking. You throw it out because it's not even worth it. All right, so some messages from Spirit. We have balance. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. So in any relationship, it's good to find balance. But again, we're talking about standing in our truth and finding our power. So it's okay in a relationship not to be an agreement. You can like different football teams. You can like different kinds of foods. You can agree to disagree. But it's all about finding balance between those things. Imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating a room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. So this kind of goes along with the ruminate card. Anytime you realize that you're taking on a negative energy or you've got negative thoughts or you're thinking poorly of yourself, imagine that kind of dissolving into a light and kind of flying away. Because when you get rid of those thoughts and that negative energy, it opens you up for new opportunities and possibilities. And then we have, if you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind, for the heart is the gateway of the soul. So sometimes we get too far into our heads and we overthink and over assess an issue. And that's where confusion breeds, and that's where pain comes from, because we get off on our expectations. So sometimes you kind of got to get out of your head and listen to what your heart is telling you to do, because your heart is your soul space, and your soul is always kind of pulling you towards your purpose and your passion, and that's the way you want to live. You want to live in your passion. You don't want to live kind of in the hard shell of your head. Not to say you have a hard head, but... And then criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. So I do feel that we do have some issues with possibly a narcissistic relationship. We could have some people out there kind of going through some form of abuse or kind of fighting negativity in a relationship. But you know, when we step back and we criticize other people and put them down, it just brings more resentment into a relationship. So you kind of, in any relationship, an unconditional love, unconditionally loving somebody else, you don't ask them to change. You don't criticize what they do. You kind of accept it. Like, I love you for everything, warts and all. And, you know, even though your feet stink, I still love you. You know, that you can't always put people down and criticize them, because they are who they are. And you have to accept that and love them and move forward. So we have separation. So we do have some relationships right now that are in a such separation type of energy. You might not be communicating, you might not be together physically, but you're very much on each other's mind. And there's a sense of regret, possibly the way somebody was treated, or the way things went down. Someone is regretting their actions at this point. But there is the thought of commitment. So if this is the energy that you're in right now, just know that the other person is thinking about commitment, is thinking about coming together, but they're working on losing their feelings of regret, and not really liking the way things went down or the way things are at this point. They want to be able to pull back together. Maybe they are too much in their headspace and not in their heart. And that will change, because, you know, finding balance can lead to a better commitment, a better relationship. And then we have the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands energy is about courage and fearing no one and fearing nothing. It's about being bold and taking action and being the best, conquering temper. So, yeah, so this is a card of action. This is a card of moving forward and being ambitious, having confidence in yourself. So again, you know, losing the self-talk and the negativity, taking charge of your life and moving forward. Working off the fire within, the passion. Then we have the Eight of Wands. And that's about motion, bursting energy, speed, action, vitality. So we have some energy here of change. These cards bring, it's all about change, and it's going to come, a change is going to come as quickly. It's going to be a burst of energy, and just like everybody's going to have, a group of people are just going to wake up and just have that oh shit moment, that now I get it. The pieces all fell in place. Now I understand. So this energy is all about coming into this week, a quick change, a quick and a burst of energy. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is about seeking truth and harmony, determination. So yeah, so these three cards together is all about finding your power, finding out what's in your heart, and bursting forward with determination and courage to make those changes. So that could come along with this situation, that a burst of energy might come forward for this person, and they might realize that the regret that they're having is unfounded and not worthy. And it's okay for them to move forward. So this energy might be the energy of, and it could be divine intervention too, kind of pushing people forward. And then to round out our chaos this morning, we have the Rebel card. And so it says, you are talented and fucking amazing. The world needs your power. Use your voice. Just don't use it for dumb shit. So, yeah. So this week coming up, I find a pattern of standing in your truth and believing in yourself and believing in your journey. There's soulmate connections out there, soul contracts, people coming together. There's people awakening. There's a whole lot of energy going on. So if any of this resonated with you, make sure to take it. If it didn't, you can leave it. But this is my Sunday chaos. Thank you for watching.